Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Virgo. So Virgo, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. And Virgo, something very interesting is happening with your reading today, because it starts where Leo's reading ended yesterday. It ended yesterday with the card that is starting your reading today, which is this beautiful Four of Cups, and it's actually connecting with this final message that showed up yesterday for Leo, being the message of, this watering of an idea that has been, developing in this maybe astral realm. It's what I just heard, but it could be just, the abstract mental space that Leo was developing that idea, and that when they found the Emperor, the idea, it's like it started to take shape, or it started to feel like things were moving, right? It's like, so for you, Virgo, this feels like the water element is one of the crucial elements to bring life to something. And it's interesting because your entire message actually is saying the idea that showed up yesterday for Leo, it seems like this idea is you. You are the embodiment of the idea. You are the personification of what this idea manifest is. It's like who you are is this idea taking shape, and it needs water, it needs nurturing, it needs something that comes from the heart, so that the foundation is solid, which is very fascinating because it's the Four of Water, right? So how do you find stability in water? It's almost like you have to float in a sense, right? You have to float, but actually it's like it feels grounding to float. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the sensation that I'm having with this Four of Cups, especially because, water being the first element and sunlight being the second with the Sun card. So it seems like there is something that you are realizing about your own mission in this lifetime, especially because you're showing up here not exactly as the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the mission itself, and you seem to be the mission at, the same way that you seem to be the idea in realization, in manifestation. You're taking the role of the Hierophant. It's like you are the one who is going to be the connection point, the bridge between heaven and earth, right? The mission here is bringing heaven to earth, and it needs water. So it needs to be anchored on love, or it needs to be anchored in something that is very pure, right? The nature of a pure heart is what, in a sense, stabilizes the foundation upon which, the sun will shine upon it, and this mission will flourish. In a sense, it will come to life. It's like the mission, or the purpose, or your commitment to what you have to do this lifetime is, right? It's like this is the embodiment of the idea, you realizing that you are the embodiment of the idea, and taking on the responsibility of what this entails, right? Because it seems like it's a very big deal, but it's also something that brings joy, something that, you are enthusiastic, right? It's like there is this happiness, there is this, it's actually coming through with the word thrill. There is this thrill. It's interesting what I'm hearing right now. It's like this thrilling gratitude to be doing this, which is it's fun. It feels like fun, right? It also feels like very grounded, but also very nurturing, right? With this first ingredient being the water, sunlight, and you showing up. Although, you are an earth sign, there aren't any pentacle cards here. Although, typically the Hierophant is the card that represents Taurus, but I'm seeing, because Taurus is also an earth sign, I'm seeing this more as you. But as I said, not you as an individual, but you stepping into this role of the Hierophant, which could be, a teacher, could be a speaker, could be a healer, could be an actual priest, right? It's like some sort of, I don't want to use the word authority figure, because in this case, it's almost like you honor this position, right? There is no arrogance, or there is no ego-driven type of energy at all here, right? There's only like humbleness and happiness and joy and fulfillment, right? And I feel like this is something that, because you are the idea, it's like you are realizing with the Three of Cups coming next, that the more grounded you find yourself in this water realm, because there's something about, you know, this foundation on water, which, or in the water, maybe we're talking about, you know, I don't even know, but the way that I'm seeing this is like a house built on top of the water. So I don't know if that makes sense for you, but it seems like, you know, there's something that maybe it's just close by the water, or it's near a waterfront or a body of water of some sort. But the water element here, it's like the first element that is crucial. It's like maybe you are feeling the need, you know, for this to happen in a happier way, in a more fulfilling way, in a more joyful way. It's like, you know, that this is going to be a lot more enriching, which, you know, was the word that came up in the Leo reading. But it's almost like, okay, so for Leo yesterday, it was really important that they had this very enriching, reciprocal, exciting, inspiring collaboration coming through. For you, it seems like you are gathering with the elements of nature, right? It's like you are, you know, you are uniting yourself in a very natural environment. It's like you know the importance of the closeness to nature. You feel like the need to see the sunlight directly. There's something that you know about the importance of this, you know, the realization of this mission, or the manifestation of this mission, being close to the elements, to the natural elements of the earth. Because since we don't have any pentacle cards here, it's like you are the living creature that is symbolizing the earth, right? It's like the conscious earth, perhaps new earth, just more aware, right? Aware of your role, aware of your responsibilities, and how when you are in tune with the elements, mainly, you know, now it wanted to come like as love, right? Water being love. But sometimes I see water also as memory. So perhaps there's something about the memory of this mission, right? That you need to be close to the elements, especially to a body of water that feels very grounded. So, you know, perhaps it's not an open, you know, ocean. It could be, you know, an enclosed lake, right? Like a small body of water, but that gives you this groundedness and reassures to you that you are part of a co-creation. So the Three of Cups actually is talking more about the remembrance, right? It's like when you are close to the elements, and when you are feeling this joy that is coming from the sun, it's like, and you being the earth, it's like, you know, it's all nutrition, right? It's like you are this seed that came up in the Leo reading yesterday as the seed, right? The seed ready to be, to grow and to be nourished. It's like you are the seed, you are the idea. And you seem to be the idea that is very aware of where you need to be, or where you are most likely to feel grounded and to feel nourished, right? In a natural environment, close to a lot of sunlight, natural light, but also water. And here's where it gets really interesting, because after this Three of Cups, we have the Two of Swords. So you see here how we have 4, 3, and 2, right? And before I saw the other cards, I was almost like expecting, okay, so here comes the 1, right? We have this countdown happening, because in between the 4 and the 3, we only have these 2 major arcana, which, you know, are a pretty big deal. And you are very happy and thrilled, right? You're thrilled to be a part of this. But it seems like you are a crucial element, right? It's like you know the important elements that need to be gathered in the same place, perhaps because of the 4, right? The 4, it's like just the outline. It's how I'm thinking about the Leo reading, right? The outline, but the outline being on top of the water, right? The foundation over the water. I don't know what that means, really. But being close to water, it's actually reminding you, it's like the closer you get to the body of water, the closer you're reminded, right? Not, how do I say that? The closer you get to an ancient memory, that's the thing. Because of the importance of this role, right? It's like, you know that being the bridge to bring heaven onto earth is a pretty big deal. And it's almost like there is a lot of knowingness that perhaps is, you know, hidden in the water. And maybe we're talking, yes, about actual water because it's what I'm seeing, but actually it's like being near the water could activate your own internal waters, right? Your emotions, and your emotions bring information. It's almost like, you know, being close to nature in such a way, when you're feeling so happy that you're crying because you're happy, you know, happy tears. This is how I'm seeing, because you're so surrounded by the natural elements. Also, you know, the swords being the wind here. So it's like you are the earth representative, Virgo. You know, there's light, there's water, and there's air. So there is something that is happening when you are in the natural elements that is making you cry happy tears, that is bringing all of these, you know, ancient memories back to life, back to your memory, in regards to this collaboration with earth, I want to say, right? Because the 3s to me are all about co-creating. So this specifically is the co-creation from the heart. And I feel like that's the reason why it's important that you feel grounded on top of the water. It's like your foundation needs to be a very sensitive one, and not sensitive in a way that is fragile. It's actually very strong because it gives you this groundedness, right? It's like relying upon your emotions to know that you are going to receive the pieces of information that are crucial for this co-creation. But then this 2 of Swords, okay, the first message was this countdown, right? It's like the closer you are to this body of water, or to the body of, you know, memories that you are now having, or, you know, having returned to you, because you are accepting the responsibility of this role and you're honored to do so, you're happy to do so. The closer you get, the less you'll see, right? The 2 of Swords is that, you know, blindfold on top of the eyes. And I feel like that is actually very pertinent, right? Is very appropriate, because you don't need to rely upon your sight if you tune in to the breeze, right? It's like the air element needs to be felt as much as the emotions need to be, you need to be immersed in your waters. It's like the air element needs to be felt, and you cannot see the air, you cannot see the wind, so you might as well just close your eyes and feel the breeze, so that way you can connect with this 4th element, right? You being, you know, the earth element in complement with all of these, right? The light, the water, and the air. So I feel like the closer you get to perhaps, you know, realizing this mission, or manifesting it in a great way, I feel like the less you'll be able to actually see ahead of you, because it's like, it's just a way that I want to say the elements are tuning into you, and like becoming more it's like more sensitive, right? It's like you can sense the elements in a more specific way, in a more tuned in way. So the closer you get to this, the less you'll see. But you're so happy, I want to say, that it's like those happy tears make you close your eyes just because you want to feel the emotion, you want to feel the vibe, you want to feel the elements, you want to feel your presence there, you want to feel like this, it seems like this sort of graduation, to be honest. It's like you're graduating to become this Hierophant, whatever this means for you specifically. But as soon as this countdown was showing up and I was expecting to see an ace, I actually got the 10 of Swords. And this was very fascinating because instead of, going to the 1, actually we're going to the 10. So it's almost like reversed, right? It's like this 4, 3, 2, 10. It's like the 1 plus the 0 is not just, the 1 pure and simple, right? It's like the 1 plus the 0. It's the 10. And I feel like the reason for that is because you're not alone. And this feels like you're surrounded by angels. The image that I saw with the 10 of Swords was, and perhaps emphasizing also the appropriateness for you to not need to rely upon your sight, right? But rather feel the breeze, is because you're entering, the way that I saw this was like this hall of angels, right? It's like archangels, very elevated, high spirits that are in this other realm where things don't start from 1. It's like things are in a higher realm, in another octave, right? It's like the 4, 3, 2, 1, but in another octave, right? So it's like you're jumping a timeline, you're being elevated or upgraded, however you want to say it. Because you see here the 2 swords here and the 2 swords here in the middle. So all of these other swords are these very pure angelic presences that are creating this corridor, right? It's like this, when you get to this point where you don't need to see anything, you just feel everything around you. You're so in tune with the elements around you. It's like you're in tune also with angelic frequency, right? It's like you enter a realm where things are starting from another level. I don't know how to express that. It's like entering another territory, but it's not even a territory. It's like very ethereal. It's very formless. It's very angelical. It's very spiritual. It's very sensorial, right? It's like it's like you're not going there physically. It's like your body's still in this place upon the water, but your soul or your spirit, it's like, is getting there, right? It's like it's arriving. It's entering this hall of angels. And I feel like there is this importance in this part of this congregation with the elements. Maybe we are talking about the elements as elementals, right? Beings from this natural realm, which, belong to a different frequency, right? It's like they are not seen with the human eyes, but those who are sensitive enough can sense their presence. And it seems like it's like before you gather with the wind spirit, with the angels, however I want to see this more spiritual energy frequency, you gather with the elements of earth, right? You being the representative of earth. But then you're welcomed by the angels into their place, into their realm. And it feels like this, going down this corridor, it feels like you realize how protected you are. This feels like the graduation that I was talking about, right? It's like, the importance of the mission from the get-go. It's like you're excited about this, you're happy to go, how significant this is, for your life here on earth, and how this is important from, not only this 3D perspective, but for other dimensions. But you have the certainty when you stop relying on your sight and you start sensing presences or energies and frequencies that are blessing you, right? It's like this corridor of blessings that I'm seeing with the 10 of Swords. And when you get to the other side of this corridor, it's like you are the seed itself, which is interesting because, you know, we're ending with a page, the Page of Wands. And, you know, the wands to me is the symbol for the seed. Although, yes, it's fire. And it's interesting because before, you know, the fire element, let's say, was coming through more as the sunlight, right? So a very natural source of light, right? It's not like artificial light, and it's not like a burning energy, right? It's like the type of exact perfect warmth, right? It's like just the right amount of warmth that you needed to get excited, to feel this joy of going through this experience with the elements, with the elementals, with the angels. And so there is something that happens when you cross this hall of angels that really changes your frequency. Because, you know, the page is like just the first one in the court cards, right? So it's like stepping up the next level, and it comes exactly after the 10. So I feel like what is happening with you, Virgo, is that you're reaching a point in your life where you are more and more aware of your life's mission here on earth this time around, how important it is, how much responsibility it includes and entails, but you're happy to do so. And it's like not only you're taking this leap, right? Because often I see the twos as steps forward, but you're taking those steps forward without even seeing anything, because you're trusting what you're feeling, what the wind is, you know, showing you. And, you know, it's like the wind is going to be the corridor, right? If you follow the wind, then it's like you will be received by the angels in this higher octave, in this higher realm. And when you leave, it's like you're going to be on this next level. It's like you're going to be a resident of this higher octave, but as the seed for earth, right? And that is what ignites you in a different way, because being the Page of Wands, it's like there is curiosity, there is excitement, there is some sort of bursting energy that makes you want to move and do something about what you have experienced. I hope this makes sense, Virgo. It seems very, like this very, what is the word? Like integrative, very, what is the word? Like this communion with earth, with nature, with the elements, with the sun, with the angels, with these higher realms. And you knowing that that you are the embodiment of this, it's like you are more than happy to start already, right? It's like there's something that is ignited in you that you just want to do something with it. And it seems like, you know, although the mission is like this higher figure here, you are seeing it with like this, you know, curious eyes of a kid, right? It's like the innocence of a kid, but it's like stepping up for this bigger, very important role, right? But with the necessary innocence that it needs. I know that was reluctant. Not reluctant. Oh my God. Redundant. Redundant? Oh my God, I'm messing up my words already. But you see what I mean, right? It's like, even though apparently these don't match, you're feeling very ready for this. You are feeling very ready for this. So Virgo, I am going to pull more cards before I start up messing up my words even more. And I am going to pull from the astrological runes as well in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.